of insecurity. That's coming from Peter Obi on mosque attack. Insecurity, our people shouldn't live in perpetual fear. Katsina government seek federal government intervention. NANS condemns assault on NYSC members in Anambra, demands swift investigation. Same thing, I am ashamed, heartbroken. Peter Obi react to assault on NYSC lady in Anambra State. Or your Kingmakers old maiden meeting with Olubadan designates, that's Ladoja. All of those are from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. In the Punch newspaper, ADC senatorial candidate rejects Anambra by-election result. Capital projects crumble as states court spending. Nigeria story from the Punch newspaper. Northern Forum wants against Muslim ticket. That's in 2027. From the Punch newspaper this morning, ahead of the 2027 general elections, the Northern Ethnic Nationality Forum has urged President Bola Tinubu to drop Vice President Kashim Shettima and avoid repeating the Muslim ticket, insisting that inclusivity is vital for Nigeria's unity. In a statement on Tuesday, the group's leader, Dominic Alancha, stressed that national cohesion could only be achieved through balanced representatives. Despite strong opposition during the 2023 campaign, Tinubu, then the APC presidential candidate, picked former Borno State Governor Shettima as his running mate. The pair went on to win the election on the APC platform. Although reports suggest Tinubu may not retain Shettima in 2027, the presidency has maintained that the president will announce his decision at the appropriate time. See details of that in the Punch newspaper this morning. It says 2027 Northern Forum warns against 2027, and in the Vanguard newspaper this morning, Amaechi's presidential bid dead on arrival. That's coming from Wike. It says that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Nyesom Wike, yesterday declared that the 2027 presidential ambition of the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, is dead on arrival, insisting that Amaechi would be the last person considered for the party's ticket. He also alleged that former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Babachi Lawal, is angry with President Tinubu because he was not chosen as the Vice President. Speaking yesterday in a televised interview, Wike claimed Lawal personally visited him in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, alongside the former Speaker of the House of Representatives shortly after Tinubu announced his running mate. On Amaechi's ambition, Wike ridiculed the former Rivers State Governor's recent claim that he knew the weaknesses of President Bola Tinubu and could defeat him, saying the former Rivers State Governor had been mercilessly defeated in past contests. Well, see details of the developments in not just the Vanguard newspaper this morning, but across all other newspaper outlets. This that I read is 2027 Amaechi's presidential bid dead on arrival. That's coming from Wiki. Punch newspaper, corrupt civil servant awarded 5.2 billion contract without approval. It says the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, has denied claims by local contractors that his administration owed them 5.2 billion naira, insisting that the debt arose from contract irregularly awarded by civil servants without ministerial approval. Yesterday, on Monday rather, contractors staged a protest at the minister's gate, alleging that the FCT administration owed them about 5.2 billion for executed projects. But Wike's senior special assistant on public communications, Larry Olainka, countered the claims, noting that the minister had not awarded any new contracts since assuming office and had already cleared a 10 billion backlog inherited from his predecessor. That's the development there. See how all other things were unfolded in the Punch newspaper. Corrupt civil servant awarded 5.2 billion naira contract without approval. That's coming from Wiki. Still in the Punch newspaper this morning, Rivers local government poll, Wike's camp dominate as RCEC clears 16 parties. It says that the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RCEC, has released the final list of political parties and candidate cleared Alliance, Zenith Party, Accord Party, African Action Congress, Action People's Party, and the Social Democratic Party. Others are Action Alliance, Youth Party, Young Progressive Party, Action Democratic Party, New Nigerian People's Party, African Democratic Party, National Rescue Movement, and the Allied People's Party. From the list cited by Newsman, the PDP fielded only 3 chairmanship candidates, while the APC presented 20 chairmanship candidates across the state's 23 local government areas. The PDP candidates' names were mentioned. The APC candidates' candidates were mostly loyalists of Wike, and many of whom previously served as local government chairman during his tenure as governor. Their names were also mentioned. See the Punch newspaper this morning for details of that development. Rivers local government poll, Wike's camp dominate as RCEC clears 16 political parties. ADC senatorial candidate rejects Anambra by-election results. It says as the senatorial candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in the Anambra South senatorial by-election, Donald Amangbo has expressed dissatisfaction over the conduct of the poll held on Saturday, August 16. He called on a thorough review to expose and address the sabotage that allegedly took place. He made this known during a press briefing held in Okwa on Tuesday, stating that what happened in the state during the election, during the by-election, was a carefully orchestrated charade designed to suffocate and disseminate the people's voice and choice, ultimately undermining the credibility of the process. Well, there were other things that were said, and there were other agitations that were claimed as coming from the candidate of the ADC there. In the result, however, announced by the INEC, or the returning officer of INEC, Professor Frank Ojiako, the All Progressives Grand Alliance candidate, Emmanuel Nwachukwu, emerged winner of the senatorial by-election with 90,408 votes, defeating the All Progressives Congress APC Azuka Okwasu, who scored 19,847 votes. However, ADC candidates polled 2,889 votes. Well, that's the development there. See Punch newspaper for details. ADC senatorial candidates reject Anambra by-election results. In the Daily Post newspaper, hungry masses, Nigerians reject pay rise for Tinubu, Shatima, Akpabio, others. It says that the Nigerian government is considering an upward review of salaries for political office holders following concerns that their current earnings are inadequate and outdated. The chairman of Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Mohammed Shehu, disclosed this at a press briefing in Abuja on Monday. Shehu noted that President Bola Tinubu presently earns 1.5 million naira monthly, while ministers receive less than 1 million naira, figures that have remained unchanged since 2008. Well, as the development unfolded, he argued that disparities between political office holders and heads of federal agencies was unequal, unjustifiable, pointing out that some agency chiefs earn up to 20 times more than ministers and even the Attorney General of the Federation. However, the move has stirred fresh controversy in the country, while workers are still demanding a living wage, with millions of Nigerians struggling under inflation and rising poverty. Well, there is a special report we did about it yesterday. We would also repeat it today, just to explain further some of these reactions that have unfolded since this announcement was made. See details of this development in the Daily Post newspaper this morning. There have been reactions from scholars, economists, legal practitioners, and some other concerns Nigerians. From the Daily Post, hungry masses, Nigerians reject pay rise for Tinubu, Shatima, Akpabio, others. Still in the Daily Post newspaper, Nigeria is down Showore kicks as DSS reportedly screens SAN designate. It says that activist and former presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Omoyele Showore, has condemned the Department of State Services DSS planned screening of new senior advocate of Nigeria designate. He made this condemnation known in a statement in his X account on Tuesday. This comes as a senior advocate of Nigeria, Are Olumuyiwa Akimboro, had on Monday raised an alarm over the development. Akimboro described the situation as illegal and an attempt to truncate the independence of the country's legal profession. Reacting, Showore described the collapse of courage in decried the collapse of courage in Nigeria, and he also said some other things. His quotes were also repeated in this post or in this news item. See the Daily Post for details. Nigeria is down. Showore kicks as DSS reportedly screens SAN designates. In the Vanguard newspaper, Alaafin's ultimatum, empty threat from a dead empire on his spokesperson. It says that following a 48 hours ultimatum issued by Alaafin for your Oba Bimbola Owade to Moses Olafari yesterday, described it as an empty threat from a dead empire. But I would not read further, but I'll say grab a copy of the Vanguard newspaper to see details of that story. Alaafin's ultimatum, empty threat from a dead empire, on his spokesperson says. In the Nation newspaper this morning, federal government automates admission process into Unity colleges. Minister releases admission list. It says the Federal Minister of Education yesterday said it has automated the admission process into Unity colleges. The ministry's announcement comes on the heels of the federal government release of the list of admissions into its Unity colleges across the country. The ministry said the initiative marked a major milestone in promoting transparency, efficiency, and optimal capacity management in secondary school placement. See the Nation newspaper for details of that story. Federal government automates admission process into Unity colleges. Tinubu not unapproachable, says Wike. I take it again. Tinubu not unapproachable, says Wike. The Federal Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has dismissed a claim by former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachi Lawal, that President Bola Tinubu and his administration are not approachable. When you say President is not approachable and the government is not approachable, what do you call a government? Wike asked while feeding questions on a national television program yesterday. He explained that Tinubu couldn't attend to everyone when he has hundreds of public office holders who should serve as the first line of contact. The minister revealed that Lawal was attacking the president for not choosing him as his running mate after emerging as the All Progressives Congress APC candidate in the 2023 elections. Well, see the Nation newspaper for details of that story. Tinubu not unapproachable, says Wike. All right, 07047007701 or 07072766278. Those are the lines to call this morning to be part of the program. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my humble presenter.
Good morning.
My name is Comrade Ayegbusi from Oswekiti.
Comrade, go ahead.
It seems the Northerners has ganged up against Tinubu. The language made by Alhaji Buba, the same language made by Babacha Lawal. I think the federal government should constitute a committee to ask Babacha Lawal why he was removed as secretary to the federal government. He should stop criticizing Tinubu. He was chickened out disgracefully. But he is not saying the truth. I challenge him on papers that he should sue the federal government. Why he was removed. If truly Babacha Lawal.
All right, it was trying to to react to some of the claims, some of the stories, and well, we you can still call us back. Hello, good morning.
Well, good morning, presenter.
Good morning. Your name and where you calling us from?
I'm going to thank the Jamaica Golden Presidency.
Go ahead, comrade.
I'm very happy with people of Nigeria, but I never support anyone. Anyone can come out to say you want to become this, you want to become this in Nigeria. But I want the price of petroleum to come down to 100 naira per liter, because I cannot lie you. During this coming election now, the Northerners say they support Tinubu, and if they bring one Northerners up, they will likely to give Tinubu 30% of their votes. So I want him to take order. So pertaining to all these politicians, they're supposed to increase their salary and even salary of all of us. They are human beings. Let us consider, in the olden days, if you see any commissioner can buy you motor. But now, can you see any commissioner give you 200,000 or 300,000? So the politics in Nigeria is a business. So some people did not know.
All right.
So if you're talking, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution there. And that's how much we can take on this morning's edition of the Daily Dose on Adamimogo 107.7 FM Idoekiti. It returns again tomorrow with my colleague coming up with another beautiful, stories this morning. All right, let's see if I can take this. Hello, good morning. Just a few seconds. Hello, good morning. Good morning. All right, we lost the call. Well, like I said, another beautiful edition will return again tomorrow. My name is Oladoyin Ayegbusi. Good morning and enjoy the rest of the day.